G'day guys and gal. The Imperium is mankind, and mankind is the Imperium. In the Emperor's quest to bring mankind's shattered empire back together, he created this mega powerful empire that, despite being attacked on all fronts by alien horrors, literal demons, and those pesky Tau, it still stands strong. But the Imperium wasn't the only human civilization out there, nor was it technically the best. In the Emperor's quest to unite humanity, his Primarch sons crushed numerous human cultures into the dust. Cultures whose technology made the Imperials look like cavemen, whose attitude towards the galaxy would be something more akin to Star Trek, and whose aesthetic was dope as hell. I'm genuinely sad that there will never be a tabletop model for any of the civilizations that I'm about to speak of today, unless I make them. Before we get started, every man needs a good, sharp knife. Or, 50. There is nothing more satisfying than some kamikoto Japanese steel cutting through fruit, meat, or heretics like a power sword. If you're one of those people that are using those old blunt as shit knives that can't even cut through some cucumber, then it's time to evaluate your life and buy these baby katanas. The awesome thing about sharp knives is that it's not even all about cooking. You can have some incredibly fun knife fights with these. Don't play with knives, kids, especially ones forged with Japanese steel. Each knife set, and there are many to choose from depending on your needs, or just go all out and buy the Giga Chad Mega Collection, come in an ashwood box, so they make the perfect gift in that regard, as well as each knife having a certificate of authenticity, which basically means the knives are great quality. So to get a hold of your very own very sharp Japanese steel, then use my link below. That gets you an additional $50 off your purchase on top of some already sick discounts that Kamikoto is currently running. Cheers to Kamikoto for sponsoring this video. Today we'll go over 5 of the most impressive human civilizations that the Imperium completely destroyed and erased from the annals of history, discussing their technology, culture, weapons of war, as well as how the Imperium deleted their tits. Let's get into it. The first glorious bastion of futuristic human civilization that we'll be talking about today were the followers of the Storm, a highly religious culture of extremely technologically advanced humans who worshipped a storm god that also just happened to be the Emperor of mankind. It's not entirely clear how this worship came about, but it seems as if an extremely intricate version of the Laetitio Divinitatis, the holy book written by Lorga that frames the Emperor as a god, was somehow picked up by the advanced science of the planet. The people then quickly accepted the Emperor as their god and worshipped him as the avatar of storms and power. It's pretty confusing how this all came to be, but that's okay. The cities on the world were incredible, made of powerful glass that cast beautiful light, whilst their armies were very powerful, a legion of these AI-controlled insectoid robots that could shoot lightning powerful enough to barbecue a space marine in a single hit. What was most impressive of all was their force field technology that made void shields look like a previously used out-of-date condom. They had these massive Tesla weapons that could fire from behind their force field, instantly vaporizing a Titan's void shield before a follow-up hit would one-shot the Titan. It was a civilization whose technology did all the heavy lifting for them, so all they had to do was praise their storm god Emperor and their work was done. Just another little cheeky insight as to how advanced humanity was during the Dark Age of technology. Their end would come at the hands of the Wordbearers in very ironic fashion. Lorga and his legion had recently been spanked by the Emperor for being too religious and not bringing worlds into compliance quick enough. So after some deliberation and terrible influence by Erebus and Corpheron, Lorga had decided to forsake the Emperor and join Chaos. However, most of the Wordbearers weren't aware of this. After all, it would be pretty jarring for them to go from worshipping the Emperor as their god to forsaking him entirely overnight. A result of Lorga's spanking is that he became very ruthless with compliance, opting for hectic all-in invasions that would impress even the World Eaters, rather than the slow and diplomatic compliance that many other legions employed. When the Wordbearers came upon this storm world, they met with its people, who were happy to find the Imperium and were eager to join. However, Corpheron decided that as they worshipped a false god, they were heretics and must be destroyed. At this point, the Wordbearers, or at least most of them, had no idea their god was the same as theirs, so they attacked in earnest. bombing the shit out of the planet and killing 99% of its population. The 1% survived in the force-fielded capital, which the word-bearers assaulted. It was a vicious battle, with hundreds of word-bearers dying. It was only due to the resourcefulness of one word-bearer's captain that they were even able to slightly temporarily breach the force field. That captain reached the center of the city and found the world's last survivors and their leader. His leader showed him that their storm god was actually the Emperor. The captain freaked out. They had just genocided a world that was already compliant in their eyes. He ordered the word-bearers to stand down in exchange for the old man deactivating the city's defenses. He did so. Then Lorgar, Corferon, and a bunch of Terminators teleported in. The captain was like, "Holy fuck, Dad, these guys are already our people. We made a mistake." And Lorgar was like, yeah, 1 month ago, sure, but now, not so much. Hence, the word-bearer Terminators massacred the remaining survivors, as Lorgar used the bloodshed to more or less declare that the Emperor was no longer his god. If the word-bearers had found this world just before Lorgar got spanked, it would have been a glorious and easy compliance, giving the Imperium some insane new tech, but as it was found 1 month too late, the force field tech, lightning defense tech, glass city tech, and more was destroyed, never to be recovered. The next human civilization to get crushed by the Imperium was the Brotherhood, backed up by their Ortian technocracy. This civilization was startlingly similar to the Imperium. Their soldiers, although not Astartes, used power armor very similar to the Space Marines and carried bolt guns. Their aircraft and vehicles were also very similar, if not slightly better than Imperial designs. They even had tech priests with augmetic enhancements that revered the machine god. The explanation for all these similarities was due to the fact that the planet had a number of usable STC fragments. Fragments that the Imperial Mechanicus also had shittier versions of. As an STC is a more advanced blueprint, it makes sense that the technology would be similar if it comes from the same origin. The only difference between the Imperium and the Brotherhood was the fact that the Imperium had the Emperor, hence the Astartes. The Brotherhood were doomed from the start. Horus, backed up by the World Eaters and Emperor's children, wanted the planet's STCs as a bargaining chip to get the Mechanicus to join his heresy. Hence, Horus betrayed the Brotherhood diplomats, slaughtering them before unleashing his legions upon the world. The Brotherhood fought hard. Their weapons, armor, and vehicles are matched for or even exceeding the Imperium. However, the Imperium had the numbers and superhumans on its side. So despite a vicious war, the Imperium was victorious, slaughtering the Brotherhood to its last man. Once again, this civilization was pretty unlucky. If it had been discovered before Horus went full retard, the chance of a peaceful and easy compliance was very high. While the majority of these stunning human civilizations were wiped out because of chaotic influence or intervention, not all of them were. The Diasporax were a fleet-based civilization of both human and Xenos. They traveled the galaxy, avoiding warfare and offering Xeno races the chance to join them. Their ships were sleek and fast, hard to lock down, however they had to refuel by charging near suns and stars, which would prove to be their downfall. Their main warrior form of alien were these eyeless quadrupedal beasts that used cybernetic implants to increase their effectiveness. Overall, a high-functioning democratic confederation showing that humanity could live alongside aliens without issue. However, the Iron Hands didn't see it like that. The Iron Hands, despite being staunch loyalists, were massive assholes and instantly gave the humans of the Diasporax the ultimatum of join the Imperium and help us genocide the aliens you consorted with or die. The humans of the Diasporax were like, what the fuck? No. And the two sides fought. The Imperium's clunky, slow ships really struggled against the advanced fleets of the Diasporax. After all, they had numerous civilizations worth of technology. The Iron Hands just couldn't lock them down, and they suffered as a result. However, when the Emperor's children arrived, and they discovered that the Diasporax needed to hang out near suns to recharge, they were able to force the enemy fleet into direct combat. With Astarte boarding parties combined with the superior firepower of the Imperial fleet, the Diasporax were crushed and slaughtered. The last words of one of their leaders was, "We just wanted to be left alone." Shit like this really makes you question if the Imperium are the protagonists of the setting. The surviving humans of the Diasporax were forced into labor camps, being worked to death. The issue of having a peaceful, democratic civilization is that a centralized, ruthless, warlike race can easily exploit your weaknesses and crush you. The Imperium's technology was significantly less advanced than the Diasporax, but it didn't matter. Give a silverback gorilla an injection of testosterone laced with meth, and he will pulverize any scientist in under 3 seconds. This next civilization is often confused with the Diasporax, as they are called the Interrex, and they too are a human culture that lives alongside Xenos in a peaceful fashion. I recently did a video on the Interrex, but their highlights are their stunning cities, high quality of living, as well as their style of weaponry. They draw a ton of inspiration from ancient Greece, having mechanical centaur mechas, as well as bows that shoot energy bolts that can one-shot space marines. Their warriors are also genetically enhanced, becoming abnormally tall and incredibly fast, using lightweight but extremely durable armor that allows them to go toe-to-toe with space marines. Their alien counterpart, the Kinibrak, can create insane technology, so insane in fact that they were actually banned from making weapons as they kept accidentally making cursed war crime tier superweapons, such as the knife that wounded Horus and kicked off the heresy. Their ships were huge, elegant and sleek, more than a match for the Imperial Navy. They were even aware of the existence and danger of chaos, swearing to destroy it wherever it rears its ugly head. These guys were so advanced and enlightened that even the Eldar respected and engaged with them, so it's no surprise that Erebus had to fuck it all up. When the Imperium encountered the Interrex, Horus was very eager to form a peace alliance with the culture, in the hopes that they would eventually be able to bring the 30-odd worlds the Interrex controlled into compliance. Whilst the Interrex also wanted to form an alliance, they were worried that the Imperium was corrupted by chaos, so they kept stalling the negotiations until they could confirm. Just as they were able to confirm that they were taint-free, Erebus stole a Kinibrak knife and set fire to an Interrex museum, making the Interrex believe the Imperium were pawns of chaos, hence they viciously attacked them. Horus was devastated, but he ordered his legion to wipe out the Interrex's outer world. In my Interrex video, I go on to say that off-screen, the Imperium wiped out the Interrex civilization, and some people disagreed, saying that only one Interrex world was destroyed. No, shut the fuck up. In the following book, it's literally stated that the Interrex were destroyed. You gotta remember that pretty much all of these awesome human civilizations that are introduced are purely designed to advance the plot or develop a character. Once they have done so, they cease to exist, often due to genocide. Although some parts of the Kinibrak aliens likely fled and survived, there is no more Interrex as the Imperium definitely destroyed them. And finally, by far one of the most interesting human civilizations, we have Earth 2.0, or 6319 as the Imperium called it because they already had an Earth. The humans on 6319 believed that their world was the original Terra, the OG cradle of mankind. They had an emperor who sat upon a golden throne. Their cities were once again splendid, but not as much as the others on this list. They had these glass skyscrapers that would subtly rotate to track their sun, maximizing their solar absorption. This is actually a technology that we have in the modern era, although not employed as effectively here. Their weapons were nuts, kinda like mini handheld railguns that would unleash a huge blast of kinetic force, blowing a Space Marine's brains out or crushing parts of their armor violently. This combined with their advanced cloaking technology made for some pretty incredible ambush tactics. However, despite a few gimmicks, their military wasn't that good, and was crushed by the Lunar Wolves in a single day. 6319 also harbored some darkness. They had a cult which could summon forth demons of the warp, however they were very inexperienced and could only do so at one particular location, so there was only one problematic incident of this occurring that ended up killing nearly 10 Astartes. When the Imperium encountered them, the Imperium was like, yo, this is very familiar, but like, the discount version. You are the Alibaba Imperium, which 6319 didn't take so well, hence they killed the Imperial diplomats and declared war. Horus ordered a full-scale invasion, which saw 6319's military crushed within a single day of combat. The Emperor of 6319 tried to lure Horus to his death by pretending to surrender, however Loken saw through the trap, but honestly it didn't matter. The trap couldn't do shit to Horus, who proceeded to kill the false Emperor and blow up his golden throne. Unlike most of the civilizations on this list, the people of 6319 were not genocided. Once they had been beaten, most of the civilians were still alive, and the process of rebuilding and compliance were undertaken swiftly. Whilst their culture wasn't the most impressive or technologically advanced out there, the similarities to the Imperium, as well as the fucking obscene levels of foreshadowing that we got from this conflict, make them a worthy addition to this list. Moral of the story, if you have a beautiful, unique civilization, enjoy it while it lasts, because sooner or later, a bunch of methed up silverback gorillas are gonna come fuck it all up. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then buy the Majorkill cosplay calendar, my magnum opus, featuring handmade cosplays combined with hot naked female models. How could you say no? Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe button for more destroyed content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.